From the vibrant creativity of Mozambique to the quiet brilliance of Lesotho's changemakers and Nigeria's unstoppable energy and entrepreneurial fire. These are the stories that inspire, uplift, and ignite something in all of us. This is Africa, seen, heard, and led by its people. Welcome to Inspired by Africa, a special Africa Day series where we spotlight bold thinkers, creators, and innovators who are reshaping the narrative of our continent one idea at a time. I'm Ifwa, your host.
My name is Kwamna Hazel, co-founder and CEO for Skyway Aero Group. We pioneer drone technology in Africa, and I'm inspired by Africa.
Yeah, my name is Joel, co-founder of Frida.io. I work as the head designer and artistic director, and my story is inspired by Africa.
I'm Kwame Ajeusu, founder and CEO at Zippy Courier Delivery. We're a B2B2C e-commerce fulfillment platform that's looking to revolutionize connectivity and last mile delivery across Africa. Follow my journey that was inspired by Africa.
For my story, we started in Tema, like a small community in Tema with my friends. We started as friends, just shooting like pictures. We just wanted to show African style, so we take photos, we put it on Tumblr, we put it on Facebook. People are going crazy. And at that time, I was about to enter university. So I'm an engineer, by the way.
Yeah, same actually. Yeah, computer science engineer.
So, in my first year of engineering, that's when we launched Frida.io. But the main idea of it was just give young people chances to do whatever they want, But we started from ourselves because I was forced to go to engineering school. I wasn't allowed to do anything other than finish engineering school.
Right.
Yes, but the crew was already called Frida.io, so we go to parties, we go to events. From there, of course, we've done a lot of amazing stuff around the world. But it was just an idea of empowering ourselves first, then we empower the African youth, So that's where the brand stands now. And I'm really glad we chose that path, We didn't
I started in the banking industry. Because I did computer science, I was in the banking technology department, moved from CalBank to UT Bank. But when you're young and you're in the banking industry, they really use you. So it was 6 days in a week. I'm in there. I'm like, nah, this isn't it. This is not it. So what can I do that I can do still in tech, but will be more fun? And then my research, I used to really go on the internet and search for stuff, and drones. Drones really made sense to me because I could tell the trajectory where it's going. Even for Africa, I'm like, you know what, this is it. So quit the bank to start my drone business.
Just jumped in.
Wow. Straight in.
Cool. Yeah. Funny enough, I feel like my story started in Tema as well. So I went to SOS. Yeah. And the motto of SOS is knowledge in the service of Africa. So I feel like that planted an idea in my mind very early on. They were really pushing that idea. I then left to go to university. I traveled around the world. I was in engineering. I was doing pharmaceutical projects around the place. And that got me to China. But everywhere along the path, I was like, how do I connect back to Ghana? How do I become part of the story? I didn't want to be another Ghanaian sitting somewhere being like, oh, Ghana is this, Ghana is that. We're not doing anything. I wanted to be part of the story. And in China, I saw all kinds of innovations, technologies. Everyone knows the China story. But the one I gravitated to was the logistics industry.
Right.
China has a population of 1.4 billion. And if you can imagine their e-commerce and moving products around, that many products, that efficiently, it's so well done. And I was like, this is going to solve problems in Ghana, right? I figured if you have a good logistics system, you bring in all the businesses. Someone can be sitting in Kaswa, but they're selling to East Legon. Like in Ghana, if you want to set up a shop in East Legon to reach those guys, like it's a lot of money. Like you're going to be out of pocket. But if we introduce the logistics that democratizes it, that anybody who can have an Instagram store, WhatsApp store, that's it. You're the same as anyone with a like very nice shop front. Yeah. And that was where it started. And then I just got into it.
So it's so funny you guys are talking about like quitting your job. Because I also had a 9 to 5. You know, I was working in the military. I was working in the military as an engineer. So I did my service and they employed me like the next year. But I told my captain,
I can't do it. If you have backing from your parents, I mean, it's kind of hard when like you stop in a very good job to do your own thing. But, you know, when they see the zero, they're okay with it.
nah, facts.
Raising funds to begin with, in the early stages, we're sort of bootstrapping, testing the market, trying to figure out if the concept would work. But I was completely, you know, out of pocket, figuring out, you know, how we can put some money together to get it going. I mean, that was okay. It was tight, but we made it work, right? We had the vision. We had to put the money in. The next phase, we kind of went family and friends. We started big. We started talking to institutions. Most of the feedback was, you're too early stage. You're too small. Like, we need to see traction. We need to see that you're successful. So then we had to turn to family and friends, people who, like, they know you, so they believe in you. They believe that they can invest in you. Yeah. Right. So it's more about the person at that stage. So that was what got us started. That was what allowed us to launch and getting us operating for a year. And as I was saying before to you guys, now we're at the next phase of funding, where we're going to have to look outside or even within the Ghanaian or African investment community. That one's more tricky.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're talking bigger amounts. The ecosystem has taught maybe some harsh lessons, so then it becomes a lot more difficult to convince people.
Yeah.
So I would say it's been kind of a mix, but we're still in that journey, so we're still learning how difficult it will be. Yeah.
At some point, the brand had like an online presence, but we weren't producing anything because everybody was doing their own thing. Me, I was in my military style. My other partner, he was working at a roofing company, DBS. My other partner too was like home focusing on like musicians and working with some other artists. Everybody was doing their own thing, but we had this guy whose dad had a warehouse and was like, yo, like, what you guys started, you didn't stop, you know, like, you should keep going. So I'm gonna give you this £100 to buy 40 t-shirts, and I'm gonna give you my warehouse to make it yourselves. COVID hit, and we were doing like a lot of online stuff here and there. And I think that year was our breakthrough, because at that time it was going so downhill, the brand, but we still kept our like ethos, you know, we still kept going. Everybody's gonna put their investment like in their savings on this, you know. So we had like this collaboration in Germany that gave us like 10,000 cedi. We had another thing that gave us like 7,000 or something. So it was like 20,000 cedi, just 10,000 cedi. And then we did a pop-up over a month. And I remember that year, the first day, everything sold out. So you had to use the profit, got like 60K. We have to use it to produce another thing. But and then once again, so at the end of the whole period, we've made a lot of money. We had like collaboration with Daily Paper that year too. We had some Sony Music. We had another collaboration with LVR and Love Renaissance, which is our current like music label. So it's like, okay, there's something here. So after that point, we built on that wealth we created after COVID, and yeah, now we are operating in like different countries all around the world.
That's good.
It's amazing. Yeah.
My co-founder and I put our savings together to buy the first 2 drones, like the DJI Phantom ones. That was probably like $6,000. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, but you know, we started with photography. You know, just music videos, weddings. But you know, I always knew where I was going to, because I wanted to do industry stuff in the mining, in the, you know, energy sector, in the oil and gas. So our first break was with a mining car on Newmont. I mean, that was a big break, but we needed to upgrade our drones. But I mean, that first check of $250,000 is that, yo, I'm really in the good industry. So I mean, from there, has been a good takeoff. you can tell with that you're easily moving outside Ghana because now they need a service. All these mines and all these companies, they really need a service. So it becomes very easy moving and, just getting the revenues here and there. Wow, it's been good, especially in West Africa. I mean,
you're building a brand, right? You're building a reputation. So you work with Newmont, you're probably still in your learning journey. But then when you talk to the next person, you're like, okay, we did this with Newmont. And then you're able to scale without. That's it.
It's good.
It's usually about that opportunity.
That first customer, always. I mean, I did videos with Stonebwoy, got best music video, stuff. But mine idea was always with the industries. Like, this is where I want to get to. And I mean, we are doing things in mining, we're doing things in security. And our last place in logistics, which I'll talk about. I mean, like, we want to, move stuff with our drones. So that's another play.
I was just thinking about your, selling the t-shirts, and then usually when you get that kind of growth, the challenge then becomes, how do you maintain the service? How do you not disappoint? Like, you have all these people coming after your stuff, and so there was pressure. Like,
so luckily now at that period, we had some learned women around us, who were like, they've handled logistics in Canada for a long time, so they know how to structure. So we had our back end fixed, everything fixed, and like from there, I think like God structured everything for us, because if it wasn't like that, we wouldn't have known how to.
Right.
But like those women were also like played a big role in our career and like help structure our accounts and everything. So now we manage everything ourselves, but like at that time they were like a big pillar in like our brand and how we structure stuff. Yeah. Sometimes you get money, but you don't know how to like allocate money or and they're very strict with it. Even though it was our brand, they're very strict with it. They're like, yo, you gotta do this. And we fight with them like, why are you telling me about? Maybe at the end of the day, it became fruitful. So yeah.
And there are hurdles when you start as well. I remember me after, even with a good name with Newmont and with the Goldfields, the Anglo Golds. I remember with Ghana Manganese, they were so adamant about it. But now they're my favorite clients, right? Because they thought the drone was gonna take over their survey, like the department. Like, so I'm in there and they literally hate me for being there. But I'm like, I'm here to make your life easier. So it did take a while. There was all operation for like a month until now, because there's something called end of month where you have to survey all the stockpiles, and it took them like 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'm doing it in 30 minutes. And now they see, and I'm giving you data, and it's like, it's good.
Yeah.
So like, then now they warm up to you like, we love this technology. You're making our work easier. You're not coming for our work, because I'm not a surveyor, man. I'm giving you data.
Data.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a common challenge, I think, for businesses. Like I can't tell you the number of businesses we've approached where we're like, we can make your work easier, but then there'll be some pushback from the inside, like, but at the end of it, will you take our jobs from us? Yes. And so the collaboration doesn't work because someone's not really seeing how it works together. It's almost like they're not seeing that 1 + 1 in this case will be 3. Therefore, like, you're going to take away our 1, you'll be the.
So the way we scaled up was moving from, say, the photography to the other industries. We felt, like I said, there was more to it than just photography. We knew there was a need in industries. So, there's more to data. The data was what we wanted to sell. It wasn't just photography, Eric. So, giving data to industries, like the energy industries. I go on oil rigs and you take, pictures of, assets that they need to know if it's, the integrity is good. You go on the mines, you do security for their concessions, you fly their pits to get volumes. It was easy to move from Ghana to other countries because, I mean, Africa is full of mines, right? So the need was there. In 2014, 2015, nobody was doing this. So we were early entry, market people. So it was easy for us to scale because now they've heard about us and they wanted mining companies are big with technology. That's a very good thing for us as well. So like they always want to move up to what's new, what can make our work more efficient, more easy. So it was an easy plug-in for us.
So like an accountant, what gave you that drive to like get into?
No, I was an accountant. I was in the tech, like,
Okay,
yeah,
tech and
yeah,
bank.
yeah,
Okay, tech and bank.
yeah. I love technology. So, like I said, I didn't want to do 9 to 5.
Yeah, of
I
course.
wanted to do something fun, yet challenging. So, that was it for me. So, but the downside was we were going to very remote areas in Africa now. Like, you go to Mali and it's the most remotest village. You do exploration, you're in a tent. Yeah, on the mine, but
As in sleeping.
yes. It made me see Africa in a very different light, especially West Africa. There are so many places. I've been on a mine where, like, I got there, I thought I was in Europe because it was just white people. But I was the only, like, well, only the team from Ghana were the only black people coming there to do drones. So I was like, it was a problem because they didn't know about drones, and then they showed we were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on my side, like for the brand, so how we scaled ourselves here was by doing like events, pop-ups, because we realized like our brand is an energy brand too, aside from a fashion brand. So we realized that there wasn't a lot of experiential events happening in Accra, Kumasi, and other parts. So we started doing like pop-ups where we will have like special edition t-shirts, people will come by. We have DJs from all around, like the best DJs for the night, so we bring them to pop up and have an after party. So we also use that mechanism all around the world. But like where the scaling really began was like in 2019, where I started being mentored by Virgil Abloh, the late Virgil Abloh.
Cool.
So that was like my mentor. He reached out to me and he started supporting our brand like crazy. So we had a whole collaboration together.
Okay.
And it was like a turning point for my like design career, because he's like the designer that did everything. At that point, it was like Louis Vuitton down. So it was like teaching me a lot of things I needed to know, designing with him, mentoring me through the fashion industry and how to even monetize the fashion industry and the shortcuts to take us. He started with screen print, so Louis Vuitton, like that period was an amazing period of my life, and through that we've been able to like marginalize on all the information that was given to us. Also, like we've worked with numerous brands all around the world. Personally, we work with like Louis Vuitton, work with Pharrell Williams, work with Virgil, of course, too. Work with Sony Music, United Nations, so many brands, Nike, Jordan, of course. So how so like
It was really big time.
yeah, so we realized that the structure we're using in Ghana to do pop-ups and after parties were usable everywhere around the world, and because of like
That's cool.
our online data, we realize we have a lot of market in different places. So we are like trying to like spread the Ghanaian word all around the world, and also like with that you create like audiences in different like environments. Because like I remember when we did our American tour, our sales online boosted for like 6 times. Yeah, we were getting already. So like when you go to other places, you so seize them because we give them an experience to like. One time we did a party last year, and Travis Scott hosted it in Miami. It was crazy. So like we always do like stuff that like bring a lot of people together, and that way we sell our brand to them too. Like
Always taking Africa along.
always. So
Yes. We've only launched actually just last year. So in terms of scaling, I'll say we're still in the early stages. But what I'll say we are doing well is we have a plan. Like we have a really long-term vision of where we're going, and we're executing on that plan. So when we started out, it was about, okay, first we need to understand the market, understand the problem that we're trying to solve. So we started out with surveys, just asking people, what's your experience with delivery? Like, what's the most annoying thing about it? Like, what would make you choose brand A over brand B? So we settled on what the key pain points were for customers. And we're like, okay, so we need to build a product that solves all of those. And then doing that, we'll capture the market, right? So we did that, then we piloted. So we wanted to make sure that all our technology works. As I said, part of what we're doing is knowledge transfer from other markets, right? So we wanted to make sure, okay, first of all, this is a product that people actually want here. Second, the technologies that we're trying to implement, how do they work with the software ecosystem in Ghana? Can we integrate? Then the EV electric bikes that we're using, how are they going to handle the Ghana roads, right? And we've learned a lot in that regard. So we've gone through different iterations of our bikes. We've done a lot of improvements. We've upgraded the powertrains, batteries, so that they can handle the Ghana roads and, and be able to hit all our targets. And as I said before, we're on our next phase now. Now, the idea is to take the model that we've established in Accra, fully expand and create a network in Accra, and then go beyond to other towns and cities. And the very end goal is we want to go global, right? So we're looking at, okay, first Ghana, then looking at the West Africa market, then Africa market, and then as far as we can take it, right? So that's the journey we're on. But as I said, we're very early days in that journey.
All the best for that, man.
Cheers.
When we almost dissolved the brand,
Really?
because it wasn't. That was a long time ago. It wasn't doing well. It wasn't like wasn't doing. We didn't understand. We didn't know the structure to use for the brand, because online we had a presence, but internally it wasn't doing well, like monetization of whatever, how to even allocate funds to your investment and all that. So, but we just had that stepping stone, and also we've had a lot of online backing, media backing that's also helped the brand grow. Me personally, I've been in Vogue magazine 5 times.
That's dope.
CNN, BBC, Highest Nobility, Business of Fashion. I've done all the media, so I feel like those people also told our stories and helped us keep going, bro. And also for Africa, having a brand here, sourcing material, sourcing manufacturers, it's a very difficult side. Even sometimes, and our brand is built on community. So whatever the community wants is what we give them.
Right.
So sometimes we have drops and it's only dropping in Lagos. We have drop that's dropped in only Switzerland. Only for Switzerland does it. We have drop that's dropping only New York does it. So
That's really
whatever we do is based on the community. And at a point, there was a need for denim, for our brand. We always get when are you guys dropping denim? But it took us 2.5 years just to make that denim, because we were producing everything locally at the time, and it wasn't even finishing. Even the person who sourced the material, sometimes you go and get material. At some point, we have to go to Côte d'Ivoire to get denim. It was crazy, because sometimes you get a material, it sells out. You go to the same supplier. It's sold out. It's not coming back. So maybe something happens at the harbor, and now people are waiting for you to hit them denim. So it was a very difficult time, challenge, but with God and our hard work, we overcame all that, and now we are where we have to be.
Ideas are cheap, but execution is everything, right? So everyone's like, oh yeah, I can start a fashion brand, but it's not until you started doing it that you see all the hurdles and obstacles to actually making it successful.
The ups and downs for me, it was a beginning. Again, people didn't know about the technology and what can it do? Do you think it can work? So selling it was tough in the beginning.
One of also my worst challenge was losing one of my partners.
Oh.
In 2021. Yeah, his name was Shays. Sorry about. So we were 4, now we are 3. But we lost him in 2021, and that was just after our breakthrough, young boys, you just see bunch of money, you're happy that you're gonna invest in your brand, and one passes away, it was very difficult, and for his family too, it was very difficult.
Our up and our down came in the same moment.
Wow.
So we started out, as I said, we had figured out, okay, what's the product that we need to solve the problems, right? So we kind of knew we had the right product. And we started out, and then organically, we had some influencers, latch onto our brand.
Yeah.
And even without talking to us, they went ahead and posted about our brand. They were like, oh, wow, guys, if you haven't heard of Zippy, let me put you on something. We had someone do a whole informational on our brand, our service.
Well,
And things blew up.
Cool.
Things blew up. Now we had some huge partnerships that we did. So Melcom came looking for us. I worked with Omni Retail, which is currently the fastest growing company in Africa. Worked with Ishtari as well, or working with Ishtari, and then some others in the work. So it all came at once, and we were right, this works. We figured it out. We got the right product. As things started to pick up, work got busier. All of a sudden, people are like, oh, like now I have to do more work. People are not showing up. And,
on your side?
People on our side. So,
oh my God,
you've got the demand. You've got, you're sitting across from huge customers saying, our brand is affordable, it's accessible, and we're reliable. And then you got people letting you down so that you can't make deliveries. And I remember there was a moment where I was just like, wow, I completely underestimate. People will tell you, like, be careful. Like, people will let you down. You don't know who you can trust. But I think it's okay to start naive and think, oh no, I'm going to do things this way. And people will believe in the project. They'll be committed to it. It turned out that I was wrong. But when you learn the lesson that way, it really sticks. Yeah. And it also forces you to find solutions to that. I feel. But I feel like every business owner feels me. It's the kind of thing you only learn when you're a business owner.
Yes, yes.
You want to be good, you want to be fair, but sometimes you need to draw some lines. Sometimes you need to be straight because otherwise you won't survive.
The best piece of advice I've received from my business is like, one time, I think this was like 2023. I think I was on top of the world, everything. And I met this man who's like my current mentor. He's like, you're not doing shit. I'm like, what? I've done all this amazing stuff. It's like, until everybody around you, it's okay. We've not done anything. And that resonated to me. So like, whatever I'm doing, I'm making sure that like, my environment is being affected too, Okay, like I can go to like all the countries in the world, but if I come back home and like people around me are not like also like getting some sort of income for themselves, or also like having some sort of like structure that's also gonna improve their lives, and I'm not doing anything. So I think that's what I've learned, and like ever since then I have more employees now, and like the business is growing also like faster. And so
the best thing I learned or that I garnered was to sell. So there's this thing about business that if you're not really making sales, then what's the use? Like, because you need a revenue. So for me, everyone has to be a salesperson, from the security person to me. I'm the chief sales officer. So you have to sell. Like, selling is what will keep the business alive. So
absolutely, I didn't understand that till I started going to America. Even somebody that's like, he works with an artist, like he only polish the artist's shoe. He'll be like, yeah, I'm the director, I'm doing it. They're gonna sell this. By the time you feel they give you an opportunity. Yeah.
One of the major things that I've learned is like selling yourself, selling the business, right? Like engineer, I'm about, okay, I'm going to make the best product. I'm going to spend hours to make it perfect, and the product will sell itself. But my mentor, was like, listen, you need to find a platform. You need to make sure people are hearing about it, because there are lots of things happening. And like some people are getting funding or getting traction and they just have an idea. They haven't even started building any sales, and those guys will take the lead unless you're projecting, unless you're putting yourself out there. So it's something that I've had to teach myself, like, go to places, talk about what we do, like, unashamedly just blow your trumpet a bit. You have to. I feel like in Ghana, part of our culture is, oh, don't blow your trumpet. But like as I'm growing, I'm learning you need to blow it small. Like blow it tastefully.
Virgil once said something to me like, fashion is entertainment. And if you're in entertainment, you have to control all sorts of entertainment. Like, you can be a DJ today, you can be a designer tomorrow, you can be an architect, you can be whatever you want to do, just take the first step.
Yeah, like for us, been in the industries with the mining, oil and gas, energy sector. We moved into entertainment. We're planning to do the drone light show.
Oh yeah,
with the drones. Nobody knows what to call. Yeah. The drone light show. We want to build a school for drones enthusiasts, pilots. Because the dream is big. We don't just want West Africa. We want Africa. And we can tell there's no drone school that's, very niche for what we want to do. So yeah, we have to grow. What the future holds for us at Skyway and for entrepreneurs in Africa? Well, for us, we're going to have the next plane logistics. I mean, we want to move products like you do, but in using drones. So we made some partnerships in Europe where we're bringing drones where they carry 350 kg over 2,500 kilometers across West Africa. So now we're delivering everywhere in West Africa, and that's a game changer. Something I want to happen, for it to happen, is the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement with Africa. That will change the game for entrepreneurs everywhere, because now you're looking at people of 1.3 billion, Africans. That's a good market. Our GDP can easily get to 3.4 trillion USD. Yeah, and that's good money for Africans and Africans only. So I'm thinking, governments should push for that forum to happen, that free trade to happen. Lower tariffs, less barriers. You're not paying more for, I can buy something Nigerian and it's in Ghana, same day, and it's cheaper.
If we have a market next door, of course we're going to try to sell there, as long as it's easy to get it there, as long as it's accessible, and you'll save on all the logistics costs, right? But we've kind of been forced into facing one way with our trade, and it really limits us, and of course it doesn't help the whole African community.
It has to be unlocked.
Frida Yates is structured to become like the greatest fashion brand to ever live in Africa. Because currently under the brand, we have Frida Yates Basic, Frida Yates Sports, which is what I'm wearing, Frida Yates Sports. We have a different logo for him. And we have Frida Yates Essentials, which is going to grow to become like an IKEA. Okay, so if you want like everything household, stuff for the house, IKEA, Frida Yates Essentials, then you have a baby, which are our female line. So which is also, I'm working with like a female creative director now who's also taking care of that aspect. And also I want the brand to become like a system, where it's not only becoming a brand, it becomes a system where you pass through it. It's like an educational system where you pass through it to go global. Because we've unlocked so many doors for ourselves, and we want a lot of African youth to also be able to like get those opportunities.
We want to spread across West Africa, across Africa, and create employment opportunities, not just for our delivery guys who will be zipping around sending the things, but the businesses that all of a sudden have access to, we talked about you're selling something from here to Lagos or Abuja, right? So now as a business owner in Ghana, like you don't even have to open a storefront. You're sitting in your home, you've got a product. Your market is Accra, your market is Nigeria.
Yeah.
And that creates so much opportunity.
All you need is online.
That's all you need. All you need is your phone now, right? And actually Ghana and Africa has the highest mobile first internet penetration. Like people have never owned a laptop, but they're on the internet because they're doing it with their phones, right? So that's all they need. Everyone talks about, Africa is the next frontier. Yes. We need to make it the next frontier for us.
For us.
Right?
I agree.
Beneficial.
There's so much going on here, so much value that can be created. Don't sit back and watch, it's not like a xenophobic concept or anything. It's more about the value is here. We need to give ourselves every opportunity to grab it. Right? Don't sit back and someone else does it and you're like, oh, okay, like.
Yeah, I had this idea. This is a bad idea. Yeah. I've realized like they want everything fast, But I also realized that with consistency, everything is possible. That's the loss of the world, like once you are consistent with something will fall in place, like cause and effect,
Yes.
So like, I feel like every young person should like believe in everything that's in their heart, put a lot of like consistency to it, and also try to improve all the time. Because for my brand, we've never done something twice. If you do something here, we have to go here the next time, or we have to go here. We also always have to like challenge yourself.
So yeah,
you always gotta challenge yourself to be greater each time, and like the people watching you will witness your great work, and opportunities will come to you. So
be ready to not make money for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Like if you think you're gonna make it in 1 year, it's likely that it won't happen, and then you get nervous.
Yeah.
Then you quit, you run back to your corporate gig or whatever.
Yeah, it's always a drop in income.
Yeah.
Imagine you're making like I started like from 4K back then 2014 to like 1,000 cities or like 500 and your parents are watching you, but you have to give them that, that it's gonna happen. Make it happen. And now
belief.
Yeah, that belief and push. Just keep going. Let's keep going.
Facts. Learned so much from you guys already.
Same here. Free to use.
Yeah, for sure.
What a movement, man.
Yeah.
What a movement.